What's up, everyone? And this is Darkon25, and I thought I'd bring you a little bit of a live commentary for you guys. I'll be breaking down some various ways of super jump confirming with Morgan. I went to the lab and I tried a bunch of stuff, and I'm gonna show you. What I found. So yeah, this is all live. Do some kicks, kick. So yeah, I got the input below just so you can see what I'm doing right here. But yeah, anyways, I programmed Magneto to do this. It's a pretty common way that Magnetos like to get in on opponents. They like to, super jump in the air, zip around, and try to hit you from, really weird angles and stuff. So yeah, this first one is going to be Super Jump Confirm against characters like Magneto who like to move around like really quick. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to try to get up into your opponent's face, try to get really close, and you'll confirm kind of at point blank. You're going to meet him up in the air. So let's see if we can get it going. Let's see if we can get Magneto. So close. It's kind of tough to do mid-screen. Whenever you do heavies like that, you have to get really up into your opponent. Anytime you air dash towards your opponent, you have to get really close. Let's see if I can land this one. So yeah, that one floated a little too high. Come on. Didn't do the air H. There we go. And that was it. Not too bad. It does get a little tricky sometimes. Mainly if you float your character too high or if you don't land the air H's right. It can get a little tough, but it's not too bad. It's a pretty decent way of doing damage and super jump confirming with Morgan, which you don't really see a lot of Morgan players do. So that's going to be the first one. Alright, so I got Doom in here, and this super jump confirm is going to be mostly for characters or players that tend to stay still, who will super jump in the air, throw out a projectile, maybe go into flight mode and throw out a few more projectiles. But for the most part, they tend to stay in one place. Not like in the last one where Magneto was zipping around all crazy. And this super jump, it's kind of like sniping confirm. You'll be staying clear across the other side of the level, and you're going to be using a fireball to confirm into a combo. So that single fireball is going to travel from all the way across the screen. And hopefully, if it hits, you'll be able to confirm off of it. So you kind of tend to want to pay attention to that fireball, and if you think it's gonna hit, then go ahead and go into your confirmation series. But if you don't think it's gonna hit, you might want to stay back and maybe throw out a few more, because you don't want to really go head first into your opponent if you don't have that fireball protection. So I have Doom here. He's gonna do a series like this, pretty popular series, against any Doom, and they tend to do that when they're trying to stall for time, or if they're trying to chip you out, or if they're just trying to be, annoying, and that's how they do damage. But yeah, so I'm gonna have Doom do that, and I'm gonna do a little confirm with Morgan. Let's see if we can get this going. So yeah, Doom's gonna do his annoyingness, and then go into a foot dive. Oops, didn't do the fireball that time. Same mistake. Oops, was not supposed to do that shell kick. There we go. So this one's a little tricky to do, mainly because of those two air heavies. When you go to dash in on your opponent, that first air H has to be timed and placed right, so that this not only that the second air H hits, but that it also hits when Doom is at his lowest point to the ground, so that you can confirm into the ground series. It's a little tricky to do. It's gonna take some practice, and you really have to get the placement on everything right. The fireball portion isn't too bad. It's just those air heavies that's gonna be tricky to do. So yeah, that's another one of the super jump confirms that I came up with. Alright, for this last super jump confirm that I came up with, we're gonna have Trish in here, and this super jump confirm is gonna be similar to the previous one, where we had stayed on the other side of the screen and threw out a fireball and confirmed off that fireball. This one's going to be similar to that one, where we're going to be using the fireballs to hopefully blow through another character's projectiles or traps, and that false sense of security from those traps and projectiles will lead into pretty nice combos, pretty nice confirms through the use of Morgan's fireballs. So I brought Trish in here, and I programmed Trish with this series. This is a pretty popular series that you see, online Trish players do. Again, it's kind of a stall tactic. They tend to use traps to buff up their defenses. And projectiles, they want to aim, they want to throw projectiles at you from high up in the air, where it's hard to do anything against her. So yeah, so what we're going to do, much like the previous one, we're going to stay full all the way across the screen, super jump in the air, and throw a fireball. But this time, instead of going air dashing up into the opponent, where those other traps and projectiles will be, we are instead going to throw out another projectile, which will add another layer of protection against the opposing character's projectiles and traps, and hopefully it'll confirm into a nice combo for us. And since we're going to be throwing out two fireballs, it's going to be kind of like a staircase effect, where the opponent's going to kind of bounce off one fireball, then bounce off another, and then fall into our combo. We'll be waiting for the opponent to bounce off the fireballs and fall into our combo. So, and this one is a corner one. Obviously, again, this will be good against players who like to super jump in the air, projectiles, stay in the corner where it's nice and safe for them, or at least they think. So yeah, let's have Trish do her little series. And we're gonna let Trish throw out her traps, just so that she thinks she's safe. But then we're gonna try to attack just before Trish gets off her projectiles, because those projectiles have a pretty good amount of durability, and they will probably blow through our soul fists. So we want to hopefully attack before she gets those out. So let's get this going. Alright, go ahead, super jump, throw out the traps. Oops, I didn't super jump myself. There we go. Not too bad. So basically what happened there is my fireballs pretty much destroyed that air trap. It turned it into nothing. It did nothing for Trish. Usually they throw those out for protection, but Morgan's fireball has more durability, so it just blows right through it. And the first fireball ended up blowing through the trap, hitting Trish, which caused everything to start happening. The second fireball, I believe the second fireball probably interrupted the second trap, or the fact that the first fireball hit, it made the second trap not active anymore. I'm not exactly too sure how Trish's traps work. All I know is that the fireballs are the ones that prevent Trish's traps from doing anything. It'll also work with other people's projectiles. Those two fireballs will tend to beat out any other character's one fireball, unless it's something pretty crazy, and unless it's something that has really insane durability. But yeah, those are the 3 super jump confirms that I came up with. So hopefully you learned something, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.